Hello, my name is Samuel Adkins, and this is a demo of my app for mobile app projects. My app is called Crypto App. It's a compound app built with Android Studio to be native for Android. Um, Going through my code, I guess we can start with the login activity. I think I have everything sized so you can see everything on the screen. Go ahead and run. Waiting for my app to run. Where is it? There we go. Okay. So oh, we are at the login activity. That's the first activity we have. If we come to Android manifest, instead of the main activity sending to a login activity, I saw some stuff with splash screens, but I used the option of adding an intent filter of intent action main in my login activity. So the login activity has three buttons, well, two buttons, and the last button is actually a widget from Google. All that's explained in the documentation. Uh, you can see the Z number down here. I defined my variables, and then on create, I established the text views and create my Google sign-in options object and my Google sign-in client, which gets called later depending on what button you hit. Speaking of depending on what button you hit, each button has an ID, and we have an on-click listener for the sign-in button, calls sign-in, login button calls user login, and register calls register. To register, you just type in an email and password. If you type something that's Bob111 and a password 12345, if it's not 6, you're going to get an error. That's not a valid email, so we type in a valid email. That's not a long enough password. I'm pretty sure that's a password requirement for Firebase too, so that matches. We have the Google authentication, which comes in and signs in with Google, and then I have a shared preferences to keep track of the users and their favorites and stuff. So we establish that when we sign in. Google sign in works. We can sign in Google, my account. That comes up. This is the main activity. It's just empty. We navigate to go to an activity or fragment. We didn't have time to implement everything I wanted to. The top coins, I wasn't too good with fragments yet, so I did my top coin as an activity. The top coin activity has a lot going on. We have the coin market cap API. I'm not sure what the list show first running out of time. To consume the coin market cap API, I used retrofit and created some classes, crypto list, datum, which serializes like the JSON elements or the object elements for each coin with the slug, the currency supply, total supply, etc. Favorite list that didn't get implemented. It did, but kind of differently. So where do I start? We have the crypto list adapter, which is how I implemented my recycle view. Going back to my top coins activity, I initiate my recycle view upon creation. If we go down to initiate recycle view, I call my adapters, my custom crypto list adapter, and set it to the recycle view and add in click listener to go from the top coins page to a more detailed look. If you click it. The top coins are in order of market cap. Where'd it go? Oh, yeah, the API client for the retrofit. CoinMarketCap API grabs the stuff. This is how we injected our header for API key, and this is the endpoint, I think it's called, and we sort that by latest listings, and the default is market cap, and we have a limit of 100. Back to top coins. We get coin list, which takes the API response and attaches it to the list, basically. That will come in handy on the next part, which I guess I'll just jump to. So for the favorites are working. I did that with shared preferences. So in the shared preferences that I established with the user ID from the authentication, I then, every time they select a favorite, let's use control find for this. This will speed things up. Sorry, I know this was supposed to be 5 minutes, but there's so much happening, and it's hard to explain all this. There's my fave status. Okay, so the crypto list adapter. When I create the recycle view with the on binding holder, I have the position of each one, and as I cycle through, I check if the first I call the user ID on the shared preference to get that shared preference for the user, and then I check if the symbol coming in is in their shared preference, and if it is, if that symbol string preference equals datum.getName, which is the current coin position, then we set that favorite status to 1, which is kind of redundant because it's already in favorites, and we change the drawable resource to the heart to red, and that's when it's loading. And we also have an on-click listener that for the favorite button, we grab the absolute position of the recycle view and pass that on and stuff to the favorite click function, which I wrote to set the favorite status to 1 if it's not already favorited, and we make sure that favorite status is not null, because there's a lot of problems with null if you leave something null. And then if it's already favorited, we set it to 0. We either remove that from the shared preference favorites, or we add it to the shared preference. Going ahead and clicking some, we have Bitcoin, Binance. We can search for Binance now. It messes up when you search. It's having to do with the real positioning, but it's mostly persistent. So like if we do Bitcoin, Binance, and we go over to our favorite activity, we show the 2 favorites that we selected. We go back to our top coin and select more, and we get all those now. To show that this is persistent across users, we can go ahead and sign out. If we sign back into the same account with our Google, it's still there. Favorite crypto, still there. Go ahead and sign out, and then we can do so. Bobby at gmail.com 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. This isn't an account yet, so if I sign in, nothing will happen. Failed to log in. I get a little toast message. I can just register. That is in the notes for the app. Not now. And now you're in. Go to top crypto, and nothing is favorited because, as that toast message saw, the app recognized that this user ID didn't exist yet, and so it created a fresh preference and fresh table. Not sure what else to go on. Both pages, you can click through the stuff. And I think that's about everything. I could talk a lot more about the code, but I'm already at 10 minutes, 11 minutes. The coin page for the more detailed views, we set the title depending on the activity. Oh, and the favorites activity, Fave Crypto. For that, I established my recycle view within onCreate view because I didn't want the same initial recycle view as last time because things are working a little differently. I set up the crypto list adapter to it still. I was going to make a separate adapter, but I found out if I create a new get coins list and in the on response, if I cycle through the list and check if each one that's in the list is in the preferences and then only add those, well, take those, add them to a favorite list, and then that favorite list gets appended to the adapter instead of everything for the favorite section, even though it's using the same custom adapter. That probably didn't make a lot of sense, but yes, that is everything. The crypto favorites is a fragment, and sign out, and thank you. That's all. Oh, and I almost forgot. I just wanted to show that we do have the working Firebase too. So users, all the people that tested and signed in, I'm signing in with Google. It seemed like when I distributed through Firebase, the Google sign-in wasn't working, but I think I just fixed that, even though it's working fine on the emulator. And when I tether my phone to Android Studio, there seemed to be a security problem or something. I'm not sure, but yeah. Okay, now that's everything. Thank you.